The essence of life. Unlimited fireworks, as well as a house and a creeper. Come join me in today's episode as I finish up the remaining 2 essential farms that I needed, the Sugarcane Farm and the Creeper Farm for gunpowder. The other day I went on to the Reddits and I posted a screenshot of my axolotl pond, and there were quite a few good comments on how to spruce up this area. So right now I'm gonna go get some stuff to make this area prettier for my dear axolotls to stay in. First of all, when I was building my slime farm, I came across a traveling merchant and I managed to get a few pieces of the special block. Is, if I can find it, right over here, moss blocks. So this will, I will use the moss blocks to begin my sprucing up of the area. So let's head over to a more suitable area to use the moss block on. Alright, I'm currently at mountainous areas near my base. Not that near, but not that far either. I needed a place with a lot of stone exposed. So if you did not know, you can use the moss blocks to generate more moss blocks and other goodies as well. So place the moss block down, and if you bone meal a moss block around stone, the surrounding stone will become moss blocks and stuff will grow. So this is what I'm looking for, azalea bushes. You can break down the azalea bushes, or if you want, you can get some moss carpets as well. And then you can get additional moss blocks as well. But keep in mind that this will replace the stone blocks. So it's an interesting mechanic. You can use it to mine, I guess, and you can use this mechanic as a way to have a moss farm, which I will probably build later in the series or maybe just next episode, I don't know. It depends on what I want to do or how much I can get done this video. Right, so I'm trying to get a few more azalea bushes. And I'm not going to mine out all the moss blocks right now. So I'll try to get a few more bushes and I will be right back. Okay, so now I've got the inventory full of azalea and moss stuff. Let's head back to base. And I'm back. Right, so a couple of comments that I got was that the build lacks verticality. But this was before I placed all these lanterns up. So I think the lanterns add a bit of verticality already. But it wouldn't hurt to place some sugarcane. However, I have no idea where to place it. But sugarcane would increase the... would add some height to this build. If I go up to 3... I'm not sure if it will blend into the whole build though, however. But I'll try it out. Another suggestion I got was to get seagrass in the water. Something like that. It gives volume to the water so it doesn't look that bare. Seagrass was really nice. It was a really nice suggestion. I really like that a lot. So let's just place some seagrass around and then I'll trim them. I have a lot of bone meal, so I have no worries about that. So I may have to go out to the ocean to get some sea, because as you can see the pond is really dark right now because there's no lighting. I don't want to put something artificial like sea lantern or stuff like that. Oh, this looks too much. I'll trim it later anyway. So one more thing I want to add in is kelp. So I might throw in a bit of kelp here and there, just to change things up a bit. I don't want it to look too much like an ocean though, however. So I have to play around with the density of the oceanic plants. But other than that, I would like to add in some azalea bushes to give the outside a bit more volume as well. So not all of them will be double tall. Might just be one bush here and there. So the thing about azalea bushes is that it is not a full block if you want to use the flowering azalea. So it doesn't look weird if you place it at the edges of the paths. So that's nice. And then I could use some simple azaleas as well. Ones without. Question is, do I use the plain one or do I use a moss block? Moss blocks look pretty okay. We'll try using just the base one. I mean, it looks blended together, so it gives off a nice bush effect. So I'll mess around with this and I'll be back with a finished design. Oh, I need to sleep. I will be right back. So after messing around for a bit, I got a nice density that I like. Just short of some lighting right now, but this looks okay for now. I'll be adding stuff periodically as I get them, so this will be sort of a progress tracker as well. For now, let's keep all my mossy stuff and start on my next build. So the next build that I'm going for is a creeper farm. For that, I'll need a ton of sand. So let's grab some shulker boxes, grab some shovels, and head over to the desert. I'm currently manually mining the sand, although Ito from Ito's lab has shown that using TNT in the current version is extremely efficient. Just one TNT can net you almost a stack of sand. But in order to make TNT, I need gunpowder. And in order to get gunpowder, I need a creeper farm. And in order to get a creeper farm, I need glass, which is sand. So it's a vicious cycle. So I'm just gonna manually grab a bunch of sand and head back to base. After returning from the desert, got all my sand, repaired my tools, set up a small cactus farm. Let's melt this sand up into glass. And done. Right, so now I have 2 chests full of glass. What do I need? Now I need amethyst shards. So I've been religiously farming amethyst shards throughout. Just because I need them to make tinted glass. So I've used tinted glass in my skeleton farm. So I'm going to use them in my creeper farm as well. So I'm going to start crafting them into amethyst, into tinted glass. So the great thing about this is that it turns 1 glass into 2 glass if you make tinted glass. So 1 stack of glass turns into 2 stacks of tinted glass. So in a way, it's a way to save up glass, but of course you have to use up your amethyst in order to do that. So I will convert all of them into tinted glass and I'll be right back. So now I've got all my tinted glass. There are still a couple of things that I need to gather. So I will be spending some time to gather the rest of the materials right now. And I'll be right back again. After a bit of time, I finally got what I needed. Got all the materials that I need for the build. So I'm now gonna head over to the site and jump into the spectator account and start the build. So let's go. This build isn't anything fancy, it's just a customized hostile mob farm by Gnembon. So where's the links to the description of the links to the video of the farm will be in the description again. And if you want to check it out or build one yourself, you can go watch the video. It explains it very thoroughly and there are world downloads as well for you to check it out. One difference that I have in my own build as opposed to the video's build is that instead of using a huge platform at the top to block out skylight, I opted to wall the whole build up with tinted glass instead. I thought it would look a little bit more sleeker as opposed to having a huge umbrella of a platform over the whole build and make everything dark. Then in my build I have 10 platforms and there are pillars placed at specific locations to prevent spiders from spawning. And in addition to that, I have trapdoors placed on the ceiling of each floor to allow only creepers to spawn because creepers are slightly shorter than other mobs like zombies or skeletons, which is 2 blocks high. So the mobs will be flushed down the build, flushed off the platforms periodically with the help of a clock placed at the top of the build. And then they will be flushed to the bottom where they will be killed by soul campfires and hoppers will pick up all the drops. Well, with that looks like the farm is done. I'm currently at Y level 180 on the dirt pillar. Let's head down to the farm and see how well it works. So it looks like creepers are spawning on each layer, no problem. Water flushes the creepers down, creepers die over here. And I'm getting gunpowder. Great. So just like I did with the slime farm, I'm going to AFK here for a few hours and see how much gunpowder I get. Hello, I'm back. You can see my level is 7. I actually haven't AFK'd here for very long. I died an hour or two in after I left. Apparently my head was outside of a glass block like that and phantoms were spawning and they hit me off and I think I fell into the water and drowned. I managed to get my items back though, however I went offline to catch Olympics. And then a couple of interesting videos came out and I had to analyze one of the builds there. I broke down the build and rebuilt it on my own creative world, which I will be utilizing soon. Probably in the next episode also. So let's check this out. There's a lot of gunpowder. I already have a shulker box full of gunpowder. So this is working really well. I can just leave this here for now and head back to base. So the first half of the equation is done. Now is for the second half. You can see my render distance is a lot smaller now as well. That's because I actually moved my world into a multiplayer server. I'm hosting it myself. It's much easier for my spectator account to come in, I felt. So I left it. So I hosted a server for this world instead of running it off a single player and opening LAN for my spectator account to come in. So I'm gonna get some stuff and prepare for the next build. So there will be 2 builds in this video. First one was the gunpowder farm that I built over there with the creepers. Next one is a sugarcane farm. Although this sugarcane farm right there is pretty good, but it's not good enough. I want a proper sugarcane farm. So one more thing that I need to talk about is the obsession of building farms. Right, so when I build farms, I like to build my farms modular. I like my farms to be modular. So a single farm to do a single purpose. And so for example, specifically made a custom made creeper farm over there and a sugarcane farm over there, rather than just having a witch farm that will get me gunpowder, redstone and all that stuff. Of course, I will be building a witch farm sooner or later, but I want a farm solely for gunpowder. So when I really just need gunpowder, I can just go to the gunpowder farm and get the gunpowder. That is it. So I'm gonna get some stuff to start off the sugarcane farm, and I will be right back. So after a couple of hours, I managed to get all the things that I needed. Oh no, a couple of hours, just maybe less than an hour or so. I managed to get what I needed to build the farm. So let's just head over to the site that I've chosen to build this farm. So this sugarcane or reed farm that I'm going to build is not anything fancy, it's just a simple flying machine based farm. So the site that I've chosen is relatively close to my base. It's not that far, just over here, but it's far enough I believe. And the farm is Gnembon's sugarcane farm. So it uses a flying machine. And it's just a huge area of sugarcane, and using the flying machine to break the sugarcane and copper minecarts to collect them. So it's nothing fancy, but it's a really efficient lossless sugarcane farm. But there's a lot to do. So I'm gonna set up the area and build the farm. So this is the other time lapse of this video. There you go. Again, the video to the farm will be in the description if you want to check it out and build one yourself. Be sure to check out Gnembon's channel as well. Gnembon has great videos, he has great tutorials, great explanations of game mechanics, and a lot of interesting stuff. And he explains it in a really, really clear manner. So I really like Gnembon's videos a lot. So the farm is relatively simple. I dug out a 20 by 100 area, set up minecart tracks, and then build a farm above it. I died right at the start though. If you look at the bottom right side of the farm right now, you can see there's a small hole. A creeper crept up to me right when I started digging for the farm. I just exploded instantly and I died. So the most time consuming part about this farm wasn't digging or all these minecart tracks. All these are actually relatively fast. It's because I chose to use a really optimal design for the sugarcane plantation. As you can see, it's just moving up and down and just holding down right click to place down all the minecart tracks. So it's really, really easy once you know what you're doing. It would have made things a lot easier if I had chosen just the standard design where you have water channel right in the middle and then sugarcane to the left and right. So you just have lines of water and sugarcane. But I chose to use this optimal design for sugarcane to allow the most amount of sugarcane to be planted. I thought that this would make the whole garden look denser and much nicer as opposed to just having channels like lines of water and sugarcane running. But this took a lot of effort, not just because I had to place all the stairs down. Like the design itself is already a hassle to build. And I thought that I could use ice to fill up the gaps with water and then just place stairs to waterlog it. But apparently when you place ice above minecart tracks, they do not turn into water after you break them. So I had to manually fill up all the stairs with buckets of water after building up the whole farm. And that was the one that took a long time. So after filling up all the gaps, I just had to plant sugarcane and do some terraforming as well as build the gate into the garden, which is non-functional, of course, it's just for aesthetic purposes. Awesome. Now the first half of the build is done. I have the farm ready. So this is going to be called the Reed Manor because I'm going to build a house over here. And there's gonna be a mechanism where I stand on the balcony or activate this. So this machine doesn't activate all the time 24/7. It only activates if I want it to activate. So that's the idea. So there's a sticky piston here. I need to power this sticky piston to send this block up. Then it will activate based on the daylight cycle. But once the block is down, it doesn't activate at all. So this isn't a continuously running farm. Just when I want it to. So I'll set up an AFK area right over here and have a mechanism, maybe a pressure plate. When I stand on it, it will activate that machine. So I think I'm going to use Slimestone for it. So Slimestone is a replacement for Redstone where I use slime instead of Redstone. So slimes and pistons to activate. So this is a non-openable gate. Just for aesthetics. Sugarcane is here. That's fine. The AFK platform should be right here. And yes. So the reason why it's called Reed Manor is because if you did not know, Sugarcane used to be called Reed in the older versions of Minecraft. And it got changed. And now it's called Sugarcane, but it used to be Reed. But Sugarcane Manor sounds weird, so I'm gonna just change it to Reed Manor. And it's gonna be a mansion or a house over here. Maybe a cottage, I don't know. A cottage doesn't make sense with a huge garden like that, so a mansion would make sense. And the storage for the sugarcane would be inside the mansion as well. So I don't have to go over there to collect all the sugarcane. Right, so I'm gonna go think of a design, grab some materials and start building the house. Okay, I've set up the limestone. I'm now standing on the balcony where this mechanism will activate. So if I were to be standing on this balcony, there are pressure plates here. So let me just store something onto it and let's show you how it works. Oops. So the pressure plate will activate a redstone signal. Redstone signal will send this to this slime piston over here, sticky piston, and the sticky piston will push the blocks down. This will power this piston and it will go all the way over there. And then all the way over here and up into the mechanism right here. So this mechanism, the sticky piston will push this block up. This means that this block can have a redstone signal sent through it when the daylight sensor activates or deactivates. So when it deactivates, this observer would observe a change in this repeater. This repeater would send a power over here, and the observer will send power over to this block. This block will send to this repeater, and you'll start the whole thing going. So yes, so I just need to start covering this up and start building my manor around my mechanism over there. Let me grab some dirt and start building. It's the next day now. I took another fair bit of time to get the materials and get the design of the building. So I finally got a nice design for the mansion. Took me a couple of hours to get it right. I'm just gonna go ahead and build it now and finish up this build. So the reason why it took so long to design this building was I had a creative block. So as I was being distracted by the Olympics the whole week, there were so many nice events to watch. But I took my time to finish the design. It started off as a box of stone. It was literally just a box made out of stone. And I carved it out. I got the rooms out. I got the stairs, got the platforms. And then I basically reverse engineered from the balcony downwards. After building the interior, then I started designing the exterior, which is choosing the block palettes, how to make it stand out, how to give it depth. So it was an interesting journey. It was quite fun designing this. It's also partly because of the functionality of this build. It's not just aesthetic build, it has a bit of functionality as well. So it's to house some of the inventory of the farm, maybe from another farm as well in the future, who knows. But I like how it turned out. I'm quite proud of this design. So yeah. Alright, it's currently night time. I have my character standing on the pressure plates. The machines are actually working right now. So the flying machines harvest all the sugarcane. The sugarcanes are collected by these minecarts. The minecarts are actually connected to a dispenser system. So they will dispense all the sugarcane into this. And then it will be brought back into the mansion. So let's wait for the machines to come back. And then we'll see it all in action. Alright, the minecart should be sent out soon. Here they go. Here the hopper should be grabbing those sugarcane out. You can see it's dispensing into cobwebs. So the cobwebs will group the sugarcane up together. And what happens is that they'll be dropped down in batches so that it doesn't lag the game that much due to entities moving inside water. So another cobweb is over here. You'll collect all of the different batches right onto the cobweb over here. So if it's not stacked up properly yet, it will be stacked up properly over here. And it will drop, go through this water channel, over here, up all the way into all these chests over here. So the Reed Mansion is officially completed. Looks pretty nice, I would say so myself. Pretty cool. Especially the new calcite block. The new calcite block is amazing. Love the texture and the color. But with this, I can just AFK here for the night or a couple of hours just to let the machine run. And I should have everlasting sugarcane. With the build complete, I am calling the episode right here. It has taken quite a while to finish this episode. 2 weeks, I believe. Lots of things in between, the Olympics, my vaccination shots, this and that, yada yada, lots of excuses. But the episode is now out. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. It will be greatly appreciated. Next episode, I'll be building something really interesting that I took time to dissect and recreate and want to bring it into my own world. So look forward to that. It shouldn't take that as long. It should just be a week. So next week it will come out, or as soon as possible if I can. Thank you very much again for watching. Bye bye.